Thanks for joining us here for another video from Howard Piano Industries. Today we're going to be giving you a demonstration and a more detailed look at our Impact Keys Impact tuning hammer that we sell. It's available. It's a different type of tuning hammer from your traditional tuning lever, but we've had some questions about how to use it and the advantages of it, maybe disadvantages of the standard tuning hammer. Now, first of all, I'd like to say the Impact tuning hammer is primarily used for upright and vertical pianos. Okay, so spinet, console, studio, upright pianos, and the way that it works, it's the head. It doesn't have a traditional head, but it's got this piece right here that actually pivots. Okay, if you can see the star tip, I can twist this back and forth. So it's got room to go back and forth like this, and what that does is that provides an impact to the tuning pin so that it can move in increments rather than a smooth pull like you'd have on a normal tuning hammer. And even if you use a traditional tuning hammer, a regular tuning hammer, at least I do, and many piano tuners do often use that impact type of jerking motion for moving the tuning pin, because what that does is that actually moves the pin in the block rather than just twisting the head of the pin, and so that you get a little more stable tuning. Okay, so basically the way, and I've got in front of me, I've got TuneLab. We're going to be using that to kind of gauge where we're at. The other function of this Keys Impact tuning hammer is that it's got a sliding weight on it. Okay, and it's got different spots that it can lock into, so that the further out you have it, the more weight, okay, or more force that you're going to have on that tuning pin. So basically, if you've got tighter tuning pins, you're going to want the weight further out toward the end of the handle, and if you've got looser tuning pins, in general, you're going to want to have it closer up, so that because otherwise your weight is going to be moving the pin too much if the tuning pins are real loose. So, and this piano has got probably medium tight tuning pins. So we're going to start down here with F sharp. Okay, and what you're going to do is put the tuning, and I'll talk in a little bit about some advantages of this over the traditional tuning hammer. But what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the tuning pin, and then normally on a normal tuning hammer you'd hold it up here, and tune it this way. Okay, but with the Impact tuning hammer, you're going to grasp down here and just move it with your wrist. So there's a lot less movement, a lot less. You don't have to use your muscles in your arm as much, because the weight is really doing all the turning of the pin. Okay, so if I play this, you can see, if you're familiar with TuneLab here, you can see that that's a little bit sharp. Okay, now so I know I'm going to go to the right with the tuning hammer. I'm sorry, to the left. We want to go down in pitch. Okay, and you start to get a feel for how much movement or how much force you want to put on that on the impact. Especially using it with an electronic tuning device like TuneLab, you can really see how much the amount of force that you put on it actually moves the pitch. Okay, so there I am. I'm going to go a little bit below pitch now. Okay, so now I'm flat. Okay, and if you're a piano tuner and you use a traditional tuning hammer, it might take a little bit of getting used to. But honestly, to be honest with you, I've never used one of these regularly to tune myself. I know some professional tuners that use them. I can see an advantage. The advantages of it's much easier on your body. On your arms and your joints and so forth, so you don't have to work so hard to tune, because you're just doing this rather than actually using your muscles to pull it this way. And the other advantage is that again, like I mentioned before, it it moves the tuning pin in the block much, so it sets the pin much better than using a traditional tuning hammer. So those are some advantages and some of the basic ways to use the Impact tuning hammer. A fairly simple tool to use, and they say actually for beginning tuners, it's an actual easier way to get used to moving the pin and setting it well. Than using a traditional tuning hammer. So that's what I've heard from other piano tuners. So it's if you have any questions, feel free to visit our website. It's howardpianoindustries.com. This tuning hammer is available there, as well as all of our other piano tuning tools. Let us know if you have any other questions.